Hi everyone, welcome back to our It's Going Off podcast. Today we've got an urgent, an important matter that's been going on in our world. We've got an important guest. I'll just let him do the talk and introduce himself.
My name's Hervé. I'm a business consultant. I actually went to uni with Mudzi. That's kind of how we know each other, innit?
Yeah.
And then we just got quite a few mutual friends, and then just became mandem, really. But yeah,
A long time.
yeah, man, been busy, been away. Haven't seen you in a while. You're always making moves, different things.
Man, talk to you on that, but we're working in London now, innit?
Yeah, London most of the time, but obviously during quarantine, I'm just working from home, so can't complain really.
Been quiet a
Yeah.
lot.
Do you know what? It's not as quiet as you'd think because you're at home. You don't really have like a concept of time, so you just end up doing long hours for no reason.
Did coronavirus affect your job at any way or anything?
Nah, so because I'm like a consultant, I work on projects in it. So the business normally have the budget put aside already for
Oh,
that.
no, that's sick. So, because
Been
basically
running
you're at
for a
home, innit?
while. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, man. So obviously, getting straight to the topic, Black Lives Matter, everything topic. Obviously,
Black Lives Matter.
obviously it started out of nowhere, and I still been saying this to everyone in it. It was due to happen. It's finally happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
And
Nah,
mad movement, bro, mad shaking
yeah.
up about now, innit?
Like you just said, then it was due to happen, innit? Like
Yeah, bro.
with everything that's kind of gone on and people just always pulling a blind eye, at some point people are going to retaliate in it. And I
100%.
think people just had enough. Obviously, with it starting over in America, coming all the way over here and literally everywhere, not everywhere in the world, but
It's
in
majority of the world, though,
yeah,
protests
yeah,
all over the world, bro. It's a
yeah,
mad movement. I'm actually glad that's happened, innit? Because
yeah,
it was due to happen. And finally, bro, to be honest, I'm not the one to speak for myself, but they've had enough in it, really, bro. Especially even now, watched the video before of police brutality still going on in the protests. There's still
yeah, yeah,
people and everything. You get
yeah.
me? So, what's your intake on that, man? How you feeling about this, bro? Because I'm not
You know,
so.
it's I haven't really spoke about it really, but
That's what I'm
my
saying. That was your chance to actually let everything out. Innit? That's how much I'll be honest.
my stance on it is kind of like there's a lot of different people's opinions and perspectives, right?
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I think it needed to happen. It's something that was bound to happen. I don't support everything that's being done, like the looting to a certain extent, but I think some people are taking advantage of what's going on at the moment for their own
Yeah,
personal gain.
the looting bit. I've read this tweet and it said something about the looting bit. The main thing, not the main thing that actually pushed the looting bit was obviously when coronavirus kicked in and then people had no jobs and then out of nowhere they just had no money, no jobs. The government ain't helping, so they just took advantage of what's going on now by smashing all the shops and taking what they can.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna, you can't I thought the same thing. I felt that why they're looting, they're just making a whole movement and the cars look bad.
yeah,
At the same time, it's because they had no jobs or sort of income for 2-3 months now, innit? But
yeah.
anyway,
It's mad.
obviously that's not an excuse to doing what you're doing. But overall,
No, but do you know what it is? Like, you got to think about the prison system in America. Like, black people over there probably feel robbed in it with everything that's going on. So
yeah,
they probably feel like, do you know what? I'm gonna go and do what I got to go and do for myself, and it kind of like payback. But the only bad thing with that is some people are destroying their own communities. Like little shops and stuff like that.
yeah. But
Destroying another black business or another, minority person's.
exactly, rather than trying to help each other, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's when it kind of went out of control. But like when people are going to all these other big places and stuff like that, then fair enough, they can kind of do what they want to do.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Well, it makes sense. Why have you been to any protests yet or anything? There was one here.
Nah, man, with my job, listen, I'm not trying to get sacked, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, protests.
Oh no, projects. No, I'm probably gonna go to one soon. There's one in the area that I live in that I'm gonna go in soon, so I'll probably go to that. But
Yeah,
nah,
bro. Good.
I'm gonna be out here writing, man. That's crazy.
Nah. There's one on Saturday that Tommy Robinson and EDR that are attending. So, but I
Oh,
think
London.
that's one. But I think that's just gonna
Yeah.
open up a massive ball, if anything.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing is as well, though? One of the best things, yeah, people won't realize this now. One of the best things to come out now is you see people's true colors a lot of the time. Like the racist, you
We're
can
gonna
see
get to that. We'll get to
racist.
that. We'll get
Like,
to that. We'll get to that. You get me? Because, bro, I have been having so many discussions about that thing, like about
yeah,
colors, especially now. Basically, people turn out to be different. You get me? Especially like the racism now. I think it's doubled than it normally was. Because everyone
yeah. Well, it hasn't even doubled. It's just come to light. It
yeah,
was already there, but it's just come to light. And obviously in America, the way they're racist to over here is different. Like they're straightforward to your face racist. But
yeah,
over
yeah, bro. Like,
little undertones, like just little microaggressions. How
yeah,
do you say that name? Where's that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, makes sense.
Little
Makes sense.
words that to the normal eye looks normal, but you know they're kind of, sending you another message. So it's a bit different over here because we're reserved, but we're seeing a lot of racist people. It's just mad.
A lot, especially like how Tommy Robinson came out and just was against it and everything about, and just a little petty thing you mentioned about the statue as well. You get me, like about why you're taking the statue down and everything. They're not peaceful protests no more, and just like you can just tell.
Taking down statues of people who were slave traders. Come on, man.
Yeah, and they've took another one down. They've took another.
Yeah, we're taking a few. They were all slave traders. One in
I'm
London
surprised.
today.
I didn't even know about that. I'm surprised they even had.
One of them. One of them's near where I work. I probably walked past it a couple of times. Never
You
knew.
didn't know he was a slave trader though. I
Nah, nah. I just
That's the
saw
thing.
it. Just
I
there.
never knew. I never knew like we have statues of slave traders, but in the UK, just
Yeah,
recent videos and like no way, bro. Like no way they had slave traders as statues, but they need to take it.
yeah. But what we have to understand as well is one person's hero is going to be someone else's villain. Like, have you seen everyone talking about the Churchill statue and stuff like that?
Yeah. Like, but yeah, that's
India,
how like the UK is about. It's quite mad as well. But they had like statues of slave traders, but they when they put that up, it was something good. Like they was
yeah,
proud. You know
they
what I
were
mean?
proud. Yeah,
Proud of what this guy was doing, which was a slave trader, bro. Fight
yeah.
them trade like slaves and that doesn't make sense. But anyway, how was that? Did you anticipate in that blackout thing? And what's like? Because do you remember we had a little discussion in the group chat? I just want to like extend it.
Oh, the blackout thing. Oh, yeah. I keep changing my mind about it. Yeah, I think it depends what you do afterwards. So some people posted it, yeah, and then after that went on posting about their normal day as if nothing had ever happened.
That
But the whole purpose of posting it was to kind of symbolize today I'm going to be either educating people or raising more awareness about the Black Lives Matter movement or Black history or something like that. So I think after a while, you can kind of see the people who are just kind of doing it for show.
yeah,
I saw some girls
a lot.
posting that and
Yeah,
afterwards in bikini pictures. You know what I'm saying? But it's
yeah.
like,
Bro, a lot of people in my social media, and you can just tell a lot of people like they're posting stuff that they don't even believe in, bro. Like the peer
yeah,
pressure that
yeah,
caused this whole thing. Like a lot of people, but I'm seeing it till this day. You just know that they're posting it because they don't want to seem to be racist.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so a lot of people they don't even believe what they're posting. More times they're just posting it so because they're like their friends. Even I've seen posts that don't make sense, but obviously black individuals now they're saying, "Oh, if I don't see you posting anything against police brutality, or if you don't post George Floyd, block me." Like that's not the right way to do it, innit? You're not supposed to.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. At the very beginning, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
And then
obviously,
after a while, and then
that's the
after,
rage, but it wasn't with the right way, innit?
and
That
then
was
after a while, yeah. So after a while, when I started watching how what everyone was doing and stuff, and I was thinking, do you know what? It might be better for some people to just say nothing, go away, educate yourself first before coming back and
that's the
kind of
thing.
express something. So yeah, my stance changed on that. So I'm not even too bothered about people who are not posting or
Yeah, like
not
when it
saying
first
anything.
started, bro, it was a bit petty. I'm
As
not
long
gonna
as
lie.
you're doing something behind closed doors, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there
Like,
was
you
a
can
lot of
literally
people.
educate yourself. And the thing is, people could be helping without you knowing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, like that's why when I seen it, it was a bit petty. So like you're telling people to like you basically like peer pressure people to post stuff. You get me? With
Yeah,
that. So a lot of
and it's
people
great.
post-
Afterwards.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
They just thought, yo, like, oh my, if I don't post this or if I don't say this, everyone's gonna
yeah,
think I'm racist. But even though I don't stand for what I'm saying, I'm still gonna.
yeah,
I don't see him as a racist. Like
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's still awareness. It's still like pushing the cause, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the wrong
Do you
way.
know what? I think it's doing different things though. So you could have more influence in your community and around people in your community than you do on social media. So you might be better off going to talk to, I don't know, those 100 people in your community that'll spread the message to another 10 people each, and it's 10,000 people or whatever it is. And that might be more influential than you tweeting it on your Twitter with 50 followers. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
That's
it's
the
just
thing. Like,
finding that different method for you to have like, the
yeah,
most impact you can.
at the end of the day, it's still awareness.
Yeah, yeah,
But the thing I even get as well, there was so many like big names, big artists. Like there's too many in it that didn't even mention it, and they were
yeah.
getting targeted. They were just getting like so
The
many.
people that have more issues with is people who kind of benefit from the culture, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah,
people
yeah.
who come in, like they'll benefit from the culture, like record labels and stuff like that. And then at a time like this, they're quiet. And then you kind of have to sit back and think, we shouldn't really be signing up for these type of record labels if they're going to benefit off us, but not kind of, give back to
Yeah,
that community.
yeah, I've seen
But
that.
that's a story for another day, and black people needing to build businesses rather than kind of going elsewhere. But yeah.
So where do you see this? Like, where do you see what's about to happen in the next couple of days or even next week or
So
what?
I think right will continue for the next couple of weeks at least.
Because
My biggest worry is with that is once the riots and the protests are done, what's the plan then? And is everyone who's kind of involved now still going to be involved in whatever the next plan is? Whether it's we're saying we're going to boycott certain companies to work for, blah blah blah, or certain companies to shop from, are we going to stick to that together, or is everyone kind of just going to go do their own thing? Because I've seen it happen before. Or is it going to be a case of everyone's just kind of going to go back to their normal life and not
that's the
stay on this path?
that's
Because,
the
like,
reason I asked the question, innit? So sorry.
yeah, no, so I was going to say it's like, oh, I've lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh,
But did I?
so
Yeah.
so the writing and the protesting and all that kind of stuff, that's more kind of like I don't know, it's like the marketing, like getting the word out there that this is what we want, this is the change that we want. But
Yeah,
after that, we actually need like to sit down and put something together to be like, okay, we need to sign these petitions or we need to enforce these rules or A, B, and C needs to change in
yeah,
government.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like it's just not a little noise that's just gonna echo away by the time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing why I asked this.
Because that's the only time.
Go on, that's the thing that I asked this question in because like obviously we both know that George Floyd is not the first or the second. There was many before him in it, so that's why like I
Yeah,
was actually surprised that all the like the momentum and the rage that he caused in it, like everyone just cared for humanity and the empathy everyone's shown. I was quite surprised in it because I'm not taking away like the light of the whole Black Matters thing going on, but we do know there's so many like other things around the world that's still going on. So what I
yeah,
was hoping is that after the everything gets resolved and everything, I just hope that the momentum moves on to a different, like a better course. Obviously, after the Black Matter, like all the protests and all the police brutality, everyone just gets justice, whatnot. After that,
yeah.
I hope
You get
everyone's
it's just
care for
yeah,
humanity, all the celebrities, all the known people, like all the influencers, they still have that same empathy towards a different cause, not just with the doing Black Lives Matter, just because it's like the trend now. Like
yeah.
keep what you're saying, keep the post going, but just for a different cause. Do you get what I mean?
You know what the thing with this is, right? Because this is probably the oldest one. That's probably why it's the longest one. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
why
100%.
one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like if you look into like the history of it and stuff, this is 400 years, right? 500 years. It's not a case of like moving on from this, doing that. I think because there's such an outrage now, so many people have had enough. I
yeah,
think it's just a case of like getting the actual changes. I think naturally with actually making the changes from this Black Lives Matter stuff, it will automatically kind of change other things anyways. Do you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
Because
what you
it'll change a lot of things that's going on in African countries. and from that, it will change a lot of things that are going on from. So, say for example, it's the Black Lives Matter move, right, or whatever. It
Yeah.
starts to do things or whatever's going on, and it slowly trickles over to Africa. Things change over there. It could then change things in more Muslim countries, so it's heading more towards Asian and Arab areas. It's like it's very easily like it can be a ripple effect.
But
But
that's the thing, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping it will be.
yeah,
Like, that's why I
what
think the celebrities
is
most.
actually getting the change though? Like these celebrities can talk all they want. They can give money. The money that celebrities gives is good and it's going to help, but it's actually all about getting laws changed because you can't eradicate racism. You're not going to eradicate. People are racist. They're racist. It's
Yeah,
just all about changing the
yeah,
standards in the country, right?
yeah,
Or the standards in the police and stuff like that. Like that's where it kind of starts. So I think it's just kind of like I said before, having that plan. Okay, Black Lives Matter moves, right? So what is the actual reason why these people want this change? Where can the change be made? And you'll see a lot of it in America will be to do with prison reform. Over here, it would be like systematical racism. That's whether whether you're going for jobs or whatever it is. Someone could be looking at your CV, seeing your name, and just be like, yeah, he's probably not going to be that
yeah.
great. Let me put that to the side and continue, kind of thing.
Like you said, because this has been going like for 400, 500 years. Like we need to understand that this is not going to happen within a week, within a month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's become for some countries. It's become like I won't say part of culture, but it's just become part of them because it's been going on
yeah,
for generations. So the racism has been passed down, passed down, passed down, and
yeah.
it's been in them, innit? Do you get what I mean? So
Mm.
like for racism to get like to just be wiped out, which is more unlikely, but like you
I
said,
don't think
these
that'll
laws
happen.
should at least lower it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
law-wise as well. You got like laws that like what's the word?
Laws that don't allow people to be racist without
Basically,
being overtly racist.
basically
Yeah,
not being straight up like racist, like
yeah,
just like I said, jobs and all that. That's the main thing, especially like
yeah.
government. I think
Whether it's, for all job applications, you can't see the person's name until the day they're interviewing or something like
yeah,
that. That could go a long way. Because you
that's
will not believe the amount of times that someone will probably look at a CV, look at a last name, or look at a nationality and think,
yeah, no,
nope, yeah,
that's what a lot of companies have been like. A lot of people have been just getting onto companies telling them how many black staffs have you got, list them to us now. Do you get me? And
yeah, yeah.
a lot have been literally targeted because of that. A
But
lot,
you know what? You have to demand these things though from companies. Like companies are not going to do anything unless you ask them. Do you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
especially at this time.
And you know what? Luckily, we live in the UK. I think in London, there's a lot of companies that do hire like a very diverse force. Like the companies I've worked for have all been like very diverse. Like I've worked in teams before in London where there's barely any Londoners. Like, can you imagine that? That honestly, I swear to you,
Wow.
in a big company as well. So, and I think in London, it's not too bad, but I think it's more maybe the higher levels, like CEO, directors, CFOs, those kind of roles that
Yeah,
might be some
that's
change
that's,
needed to
that's
be
common.
made.
Man. Like from what I've seen, there's not like CEOs from different ethnic, like minority ethnicities. Anyway, it's always the
The,
CEO. It's always
the
us.
white male, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's mad.
But proportion wise, like if you look at the percentages and stuff, it kind of makes sense. But it's just all about giving people that opportunity. If someone's good enough for the job, give them the opportunity.
Just don't look
That,
away. Look, yeah, don't look through him and just go straight for the white person. Which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
happens.
And you know what? The thing is, it's not even just all about that. If you've got a few people who've got really good, who are very good at the job, and you've got them all in the same team, but they come from a different background, you're gonna get more out of them because they understand different people. They'll have a different outlook on life.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
just easy for
Come
you
from
to
a
do.
different background,
Yeah,
from a different,
yeah,
yeah, not different upbringing. But some people just don't even, especially like some companies don't even care, bro. Like the street system. But where,
yeah.
what do you think? Like, what to obviously in America, next situation, like, do you think it's going to be like a civil war or something that's going to take place, or like, because I don't, because the way it's looking now and the videos that I've been seeing,
So,
it's not looking like it's going to be peacefully resolved anytime soon.
but this is the thing with America, though. If you look at America's history with slavery, the only time they've ever made change is when people have acted. irrationally. Like you can't, like every time people seem to just protest, it doesn't work. You have to either hurt, like it seems like it's not might not be the right thing to do. Is you have to hurt them physically,
Violence.
like burning the buildings and whatever they're doing. That seems to be the only time. Or you have to hurt them economically. I remember, I think it was like in the 60s, I think, there was something called the Montgomery buses. And basically, everyone, like all the black people, just stopped taking the buses there for 380 days. And it hurt the government, like the government's pockets, and it actually forced them to make a change. So it could just be like doing something like that. You know, people could put it this way, right? If every black person in America said that they weren't going to work for 2, 3 months, right? Their economy wouldn't, be in a good place. It would be in a very bad place if these people stopped working, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's a lie.
Saying,
And it looks like
They're
that. Everyone's going for
gonna need it. So I don't know. I don't know their method or what they're gonna do. But if you look at just past experience, like past, yeah, well, things that have happened in the past, it just seems to be like you have to hurt the government economically for them to make a change. If it's anything to do with race.
for them to actually react and respond in it.
Yeah, and look who they've got in charge of the country as well. It's not like he's just gonna, just
No,
let
yeah,
people.
Morris.
Yeah.
Morris is a myth, bro. He's just a little puppet, man.
Boris Trump. I'm not into politics though, anyways. But yeah, they're not exactly leaders. No, I'm not into politics. I hate politics.
Nah, I can't say I'm into it, but like it's interesting, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm alright.
yeah,
I'm not that into it, innit? But it's interesting, bro. Especially nowadays, and that it's very interesting, bro.
yeah. With stuff going on. Yeah, I just keep everything political. Mm.
And just keep it moving.
Yeah,
What else, man? What else is going on now? What black man? Anything you want to add on that, bro?
what was that?
Anything you want to add on that in like the Black Lives Matter movement?
Do you know what I think it is? Right, I think you're seeing a lot of racism coming from different angles, different types of people. Yeah,
Yeah,
when this now, I think the whole thing of like I've seen people talking about things like, oh, what about Syria? What about this? It's not a case of we've forgotten about that, right, or anything like that. I think people just need to like kind of be like, oh, this is going on. Let's unite. All that has to happen now is next time that goes on,
yeah,
people can be like, or can you guys help us the same way that you helped with that cause? But don't disrupt something that's actually going on by trying to divert
yes.
the attention and the purpose. Because
That's
when we're not all aligned trying to get to one place, we're never gonna achieve anything. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about this one. Now. Do you know when the first like Black Lives Matter movement started? For like literally half a day, I was feeling the same because I've just seen like how everyone came together, and then I was like, okay, like if everyone
Oh,
can,
why don't
how
we
come no one got
yeah,
together about that? But I swear down, like, and then I started like obviously just thinking, but and then I said like, we have no right to be saying this because, like you said, but the racism been going for so long. We can't, like you say, disrupt now, yeah, their movement, their cause, because of what's
yeah,
going on with us, especially say like Palestine or Syria or anything like that. Like we can't
yeah,
ask them to like, oh, just tell them, all right, yo, stop what you're doing, don't do this, no, do focus on this, no. That's why before I said, I hope after all this, after Black Man movement and obviously justice comes through and everything, I want people that are protesting now to that obviously they're for
yeah,
humanity and everything, that they care about the world, they want to transition into a different cause. Do you get me? Like,
yeah.
you have no right.
That's it.
Anyone has no right to tell you, oh, where was this, or no, about Syria, about this. Even I see like pictures online, innit? Like I think, okay, you're creating awareness at a time where everyone cares, but like black people have been going on like racism for a long time, innit? So like, no one has no right to actually say, yo,
It's
why
the longest option ever. Do you know what I'm saying?
it's, it's, it's,
Yeah,
it's not like there weren't black people protesting in like Palestine protest or Syria protest or anything. There were in it. There were a lot, but like even especially what pissed
yeah.
me off now recently, it's all this all lives matter. Like people just coming with all lives matter.
You know what? When I see that, yeah, you just think, you know
Matter.
what?
Don't be like it's not time to say all lives matter now, wouldn't it? Like
Yeah, yeah.
you're basically
It's,
just taking away like
yeah, it's just people's mindsets. But I was gonna say it's like, look, one thing's going on now, focus on that. No one's saying don't also focus on this.
Yeah,
But when the light comes back to that kind of thing, just use this as an example. So, oh, this is what you guys did to get ABC. Okay, can you guys also help us do this then? Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like you say, oh, only Black Lives Matter. It's just
yeah.
that
That's
right
the
now,
thing.
black people are getting killed at a disproportionate rate compared to everyone else by the police. Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And there's systematic racism, which won't just help black people. If it's fixed, it's going to help a lot of other people from different races, whether you're Arabs, whether you're Asians, whatever it is,
that's what
Eastern European, because even sometimes,
that's why I start to get annoyed when I see All Lives Matter. Like, okay, with All Lives,
it's like we're sitting in the middle.
black
Yeah,
people have found, finally stood up for themselves. Don't tell them to sit back down and go like support your cause. You get me? Like they've been waiting
yeah,
for this. They've been waiting years and years and years to finally stand up. It's, you have
yeah.
the right to tell them all lives matter. Okay, all lives matter. What happened when like before they even stood up? Like it's these racists that are saying all
It's thing,
lives where matter. Why was you being racist in the first place? Do you get what I mean?
you know, what's the craziest thing, right? I've seen a lot of people say, like, what about this cause? What about this cause? But those same people, yeah, ask them to show you how much they've done for that particular cause that they're talking about. A lot of people are just making noise. That's the issue. Use the, if anything, just take the positives out of it. Use this as an example of how to move forward with different causes. Because imagine if we get change from this, right? That same energy, this same mentality, whatever's going on, can be put into something else, and then something else, and then something else, and then something else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, that's something exactly.
You really think black people are going to see other people protesting with them and then get help them get change, and then when those people need help, you think black people are not going to help? I
Yeah,
don't know if like people watch things or like, have you ever seen like the protests for like Syria and Palestine in America when they're going on? Do you see how many black people are there?
that's
People
what I
don't
said
even do
before. That's
it.
what I said before. That's what I said. Like, it's not like when there's protests, like Palestine protests, black people aren't there. They are there, innit? So that's why it's not fair to like.
Be positive and thinking, how can we use this example for the next time, something crops up this much in the media? Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's all about,
Like, that's why before, again, I'm just gonna say it again. That's why before I said, yo, that I
yeah,
do really hope after everything's been solved and everything, like that we move into a different cause. Like that's it.
yeah.
We don't just stop there. Okay, like finally, like
It also needs to be led by people as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the leaders in those communities are the people who know the most about those causes, right?
yeah,
Go out there and educate people, give people that information. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I will obviously know more about Black history than most people are not black. Do you know what I'm saying? Same way you might know more about history in your country way more than I will. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's all about actually going out there and raising that awareness. The more people know, the more people can do. Do you know what I'm saying? And
but
I think that's just like one of the biggest
like
issues.
social media is the one that created the most awareness in it. So like, so we talk about
Yeah,
social,
yeah,
talk about influencers in it. Like there's for say like I'm an influencer. There's a difference between me posting something about Palestine than thingy. Do you get me? Like, it wouldn't.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
scared to post anything about Syria protests because people might just look at them as in a weird way, if you get what I mean, rather than just talk
yeah.
about Black Lives Matter when it's trending on Twitter or it's trending like just like a lot of
Yeah.
it just brings the point to my point before when I said people literally start posting stuff they don't really stand up for
Stand
just
up for you.
because I'm an influencer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's why I keep saying like the interesting things to see where it goes from this, because I'm seeing so many people back this movement, right? Using different methods, whether you're social media, whether you're protesting or writing, like people are doing different things. But when it comes down to it, and we need people to, I don't know, sign for some legislation to happen or whatever,
It's the
and
whole
these people
regardless,
there, you know what I'm saying, still need to be there. That's the most important thing. Like. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
that's what I'm saying. And you know what's so funny? Like like most people that in the UK they're saying all lives matter. They're the one that voted for Brexit. That didn't
Yeah,
work.
trust me.
Used to come to here in the first place.
It-
And now all out of nowhere,
yeah, yeah,
really all lives matter. You wouldn't really like mind refugees coming
yeah.
out.
These people want to act like it's the oppression Olympics. Oh, you went through this. Oh, we went through this. Come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Yo, I know, man. Like, bro, like I said, man. Finally, bro. Finally, literally, bro. I'm actually happy and glad, bro. Like, they stood. Finally, they stood, bro, against what's been going on for years, innit?
Yeah.
And hopefully, it all gets resolved anyway, bro. And that's it. Like, you get me? Just get it done. I like, just last time I'm gonna say, just hopefully, like everyone just keeps that empathy for humanity and moves on to like a different cause and keep it going like a domino effect, cause after cause after cause. Do you get it? And that's the best way to make the most out of like Black Lives Matter movement. Do you know why? Because even imagine we get to the second cause or anything, like we'll always remember this happened because of Black Lives Matter. And then even for that one, oh, this happened because everyone stood up for Black Lives Matter. Everyone would always like relate to Black Lives Matter because, do you get me? It just caused everyone to stand up with each other.
But this is the thing with that, we actually have to make the change. So say, for example, all this attention, all of this goes on and nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
People are going to be fed up. So for the next cause, it's going to be even tougher because people are like, oh, we did all that and we didn't get anything from Black Lives Matter. So imagine how tough it's going to be for that next cause.
At the
Need
same
to
time,
make
just like
changes actually made. Do you know what I'm saying? Make sure the changes are made. Like there's a natural change in behaviour, whether it's from the police or the government or whatever, and then people will have more hope going into that next one in it. So it's all good and well if there's people who are doing it on some fake thing out there, but when the time comes,
be fake. As long as it creates awareness, be fake.
yeah.
You don't mind that, boy. You can, as long as you're posting it, even getting peer pressured, get peer pressured. I'll just post it. So it's, at the end of the day, it's still awareness, isn't it? Do you get what I mean?
It's all about change, man.
Obviously, bro, it's all gonna come down, and it's always about change, bro. It had to happen, bro. It needs to happen, and finally, bro, it should happen, innit? You get me?
Yeah.
Want anything else you want to add? Or
Nah, man, I'm good, man. I think that's
you let everything out?
yeah. You already know what I think. Come on, man. We've had a bit of this conversation in the group chat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Long conversation. That's why I want to get it, so you just spread it out to everyone, in it, really, bro.
Yeah. We've got to do this again, man. Get Lockman on as well next time.
But Lockman wants to jump on one. I'm gonna get him on. Don't worry about it. He wants to
yeah. When he's on here, let me know. I'll come as well.
Yeah, bro. Next time, bro, we'll do it face to face, and not over Zoom. Obviously, it's just that's another thing to everyone knowing it. Obviously, we're doing it over Zoom because a man like Herb is just in a different city. So obviously, it's just what's going on. Come down here.
Well, I'll probably be up north for a while now anyway, so.
Say that again. Your voice just went.
I'll probably be up north for a while now anyway, so if it's anytime soon, I'll just fly down to Manchester.
Definitely. Part 2 is definitely coming soon, but you get me. This time you got to bring you down there, innit? You get me?
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Alright, man.
Yo, it's been a good podcast, man. It's been alright per episode. Hopefully, you just more people just educate from it and know more about what's been going on, and actually just support the cause even more now, innit?
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Inshallah.
Inshallah. You get me? So that's it. We'll wrap it up for now. We're gonna wrap it up. And that's it, pros.
Alright, man. Thanks, man. Take care.
Take care, bro.